This is the most glorious, this is the best day of my life. When this showed up, I literally had tears coming down.
One day I'll have a car that badass. I'll be chirping gears and pulling Brody's going, "Arr, arr, arr."
Welcome to April's Garage, the greatest automotive channel in all of YouTube land. And recently I sold my house in Chicago, so I came into a little money. And people are telling me to invest in real estate or maybe be like a crypto bro. But I thought, you know what? Maybe I should invest in some hoopties like this.
Oh, I love you. I love you so much.
Well, now you have some competition because I worship this build right here. This is my dream come true.
Well, have you decided what to call it yet? Because everybody's probably looking at the camera and going, what the heck is it?
This is the Grand Camino right here. It's sort of a mishmash mesh of an El Camino, 86 El Camino, and a Regal put together.
I love you.
Yes?
And it's awesome that you want to start your own little car collection.
Yes.
But starting with this monstrosity is an interesting choice.
Yeah.
So Grand Camino with GNX badges, even though it has nothing as far as turbocharged or anything under the hood at.
Relax, okay? This is the ultimate dream come true car. Now, like I said, investment. I don't know if this is really an investment. I don't know if I'd put it in my investment portfolio, but this is something that you never knew you needed in your life. But it's here. It is gorgeous.
So how much did you pay for this?
$25,000?
And that was before fees to bring a trailer and then shipping it here. So I paid a little bit more for a real Grand National, an
Right.
87 Grand National.
Right.
And you could have found one for yourself. So you're telling me you would rather have this
Yes.
than a real Grand National?
Well, that's not a fair question, but I feel like I still won because this is two cars in one. So like the price of two cars squished into one, maybe it kind of sounds like an investment now, right?
You're crazy, but my kind of crazy. So shall we start the tour?
Let's do it.
So April, you are overall a purist.
Yeah, well, yes.
You hate when they're misbadged.
Replication.
You hate replicas, like of any
recreations.
Cobra, any Ford GT, any whatever. You're a GNX nut and Grand National nut. And I can't help but notice, but the first thing you bought has GNX badges on it and in other places.
I feel like if it had the GNX motor in it, then you could put these on there. Like even recreations that don't have that GNX motor. Like I wouldn't put this on here. I want to take this off, and there's two stickers. There's one sticker inside and on the side back window there too that I feel like I want to scrape it off. What do you think?
Yeah, I think debadging it is in order, or changing what is under the hood, which we'll get to in a little bit. But the other thing is, this thing sold one time around.
Right.
And you didn't have your house money yet, and I wasn't gonna sugar daddy it because of all the house stuff going on and everything else.
Yeah.
So then it came around the second time, so it was almost fate, wasn't it?
It literally was meant to be. This is the most glorious, this is the best day of my life. When this showed up, I literally had tears coming down.
Well, it does have the GNX wheels, and they do
GNX
look
wheels, yeah.
fantastic.
Right.
That is a common upgrade on Grand Nationals. But this didn't start life as a Grand National, and you would think it would have started life as an El Camino, but no, it was a Regal.
Well, partial Regal, partial El Camino, that all came together.
Right, so from the front third, we have a Grand National GNX nose.
Right.
And they actually made the hood themselves, that bump out, they added to it. They didn't get a
Right.
Grand National hood.
And they added this cutout here too, which you'll see on the GNX as well.
Right. Interior is, well, I assume this is El Camino because it has the shorty dash, right?
Yeah, this is the El Camino, but what I like still on the El Camino is they put the crotch vent down here, which you'll
Like
see
the trucks.
in the Grand National and the trucks. But that's still there too. Yeah, I feel like this wheel, has got to go. Like, I got to get the Grand National wheel.
But
And
there's
it's a little clunky, very 80s looking. That sticker, I need to
GNX
peel.
sticker.
Like, I already want to start picking it off. But then your friend, Bob, Euro-Asian Bob, was just here, and he's like, no, I would leave it on. It's cool, but it's not a it's not a GNX.
right. The interior too, not a Grand National GNX interior. Bench seats, so they were buckets in there, but the door panels, it's not right.
Yeah, but it is right in so many ways. It's so wrong that it's right.
But I will say, overall, the paint, the body, does look really nice. It might be even nicer than my Grand National that has a repaint on it that's much more, like the factory. Because the paint wasn't very nice from the factory in the 80s General Motors. They didn't do a very good job. So this monstrosity, this Frankenstein, the seams, like I don't see anything in the paint showing that this wasn't.
They did such a good job blending El Camino and a Regal. Like you're saying, there's nothing. You can't tell. It looks like GM actually built this like as a concept car maybe. Like it looks correct. It doesn't look weird or odd. Am I going to get shot for saying that?
So
to
why
me,
is this your
beautiful.
dream car? Like,
I've always loved El Caminos because they're just like weird and different. There's nothing else on the road like
you had
the
a
Ranchero.
67, right?
It's a 1967 El Camino. But this is so much better. I mean, it's like business in the front, party back here. I'm going to slam this door.
Go ahead. So here is the build process. Unfortunately, the previous owner passed away suddenly, so it's sort of left as it was with him in the garage. So you go to shows and display it. You can see the pictures of the process here. And yeah, looks like it started with a Regal, and then they cut off the back, added in the hood, added in the fender louvers, grafted on the El Camino tail. But definitely the craziest part, I feel like, is this tailgate. So I'm going to put this back down
so
just to
cool.
show you how they engineered this to work. So
It's amazing, because you would think you would just put the El Camino tailgate on there, but no. This is so much better. This is what completes the car. I feel
right,
like.
if you didn't want to put it down, then I suppose you could just have a normal tail on it. But somebody went to all the trouble. You can see the lights stick out a little bit further than the bumper than it normally does. And there's hinges where there would have been some trim, and that gives it room to just flawlessly pop down.
This is the coolest thing ever in the whole world. This is so cool. How amazing is that? They did such a good job.
Now, I wouldn't say that this is the most elegant here as far as the fiberglass or whatever behind it.
Simmer down about my girl, okay? Be nice. She has feelings.
But overall, yeah.
I mean, look at the thoughtfulness of everything that went into here. I mean, this took a while to do. They put some love into this.
It's not Concours, but it's not like shoddy workmanship either, I would say. It's interesting.
That you said it's not Concours.
No, it never will be. This is somebody's home brew creation. Apparently, they had an 87 Grand National in their collection as well. And yeah, this is a what if,
and
huh?
with the GNX, they had flared fenders. This doesn't have that either. But it's just like, how did they blend that? And black shows every little nick and ripple, and it's just, you can't tell anything. Oh, did you see the license plate up front that they had here? GNX. Now, they only built 547 of them, so he's got this as 548, which, like I said before, it's not really obviously a GNX.
It's sacrilege because it doesn't have the right motor under the hood. So we've been delaying that because this is where I cringe, and I feel like other people are going to cringe at your investment. Yeah.
I like calling it an investment. This is good. I want to see the 3.8 turbo. It's not there.
No, that is a 305, which you would have found in an El Camino. I think the Regals had the V8s as well, because this is the Regal nose that they grafted with the El Camino rear. So yeah, no turbo anywhere to justify any of the whirly-bird symbols or the GNX or anything.
Look how much space there is. You could put anything you wanted in here. You could put the biggest motor and just like tons of room, right?
So you're saying you want to LS swap it, or you want to buy like a Grand National or GNX engine and drop it in to make it appropriate?
Can you put a turbo in it? Would that fix it?
Some Chinese turbo kit on a small block V8, I'm sure that exists, but why?
Right. Well, why for this whole car? Why?
It would still be a very slow vehicle compared to modern standards. And everybody says, oh, well, let's swap it. But been there, done that with a Porsche. It's a lot harder, a lot more expensive than YouTube and the internet makes it out to be. So,
well, I don't think you could put an LS in a Grand National to begin with. So that kind of would be sacrilege, like you said earlier.
right. But this thing does run and drive really well, just as is. So why don't you start it up, April? Because it sounds good as well.
Do we have the keys?
They're in it.
This is amazing.
Yeah, they got the exhaust right. It sounds really good for just basically a 200 horsepower 305 Chevy. Of course, the Canon air filter dresses it up, but it's otherwise very stock. A carburetor under there, all the smog stuff it looks like, alternator, AC compressor.
Can I say something that I feel like I'm going to hate myself for saying? I feel like it sounds a little better than the 3.8 V6.
It does.
Okay.
It does, but it is a lot slower. A lot slower. I can't believe you bought this thing. You were so weird. You are so weird.
This is amazing.
Okay. Well, shall we take her out?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
This is so cool. This is so cool. Oh my gosh.
It is goofy. First thing we noticed, the AC does not work. High does not work, so it has to be medium, a blower motor resistor problem. And yeah, no air conditioning, even though it's all there.
Don't pick on her. Windows open, air conditioning, free air conditioning right here, baby.
Well, okay. The 305 does sound pretty good, though.
She sounds really good.
Not very fast. We'll have to take this thing down because there.
Oh, this is so great.
I was going to drive everybody crazy in the video if it's
Oh, right.
knocking by your face. But yes.
Oh, this is amazing. I definitely want to change the wheel.
Yeah.
Gauges are a little jumpy.
I think that's pretty normal. I mean, they're working-ish. Good enough.
Ish. I like ish. They're working-ish.
Yeah.
That's what you used to tell the cop when he pulls you over.
Yeah, well, make sure the brakes are good. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Do a nice little... Okay, yeah, they're
Yeah,
fine.
We're good.
All right.
This is so cool. This is so cool. Is it weird that this is the best day of my life? Okay, wait a second. First, what's this? Of course. And then, so this is the second best day. Driving this beautiful Frankensteinville.
Well, okay.
So
And it does
cool.
feel very different from the Grand National.
It does.
The bench seats versus those buckets that are a bit more sporty. And yeah,
I mean,
it's
like-
probably softer, the suspension, I think, as far as the
Yeah.
ride and things, but not much.
It's smooth. I'd like to see the Grand National interior in here. That's being picky, though. Like,
Yeah, but I don't think I'd want to give up this bench, though.
the bench is amazing. It's
If we
really
could get that
nice.
to that, you call it mouse fur, right?
Yes, mouse fur.
And then, make it look correct for the bench, because it already has the replaced black carpets. I think that would work.
Oh, God.
Let her rip. It's not going to be much.
Okay, that's flooring it. It's slow. It is slow.
Oh, we just now hit 55.
55.
So the Grand National would wipe the pavement on this thing. Like, it'd be my Countach in a launch.
Right. It does, yeah.
And this thing, just about any car, other than like another boat from the 80s, would smoke this. But it does make the right noises. It seems to ride okay.
It's beautiful and glorious. It's better than I thought. Like, this is absolutely spectacular.
You've driven the Grand
Woo!
National.
Yes.
So the difference is, this one's a lot more, I guess, lazy, right? Feeling as far as the steering, the suspension.
This one's a little
Engine.
lazier, but it's more rigid. Can I say that? It feels like it's a little tighter than the Grand National. Is that a weird thing to say?
Well, just less creaks and rattles, just
Yeah.
because it doesn't have the T-tops and all
Okay.
that stuff. With T-tops, you just always have to deal with that,
Right.
unfortunately.
Oh, this is amazing. This is so cool. I could die happy right now. You probably should never say that when you're driving a car, but like if
Especially this one, Frankenstein together.
There's no airbags. But if this were the last day of my life, I would be just perfectly fine. This is great. Nothing can ever top this. There is nothing in the world that can top this.
Well, I feel insulted.
Right. I mean, you can get.
But
all
I mean,
of them.
I know. I mean, look at me. So obviously, she get more excited about this
No, you
Grand
have,
Camino abomination than.
you have good body lines too. But if I
If
were
you
just,
think that this has good body lines, I'm talking about the car. I mean, obviously, your eyes are a little.
questionable?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I moved to Kansas for some good body. This is amazing. I don't, if you want to get out, because I could be alone with her for a little bit.
Well,
Okay.
we do need to take this up to the car wizards for an inspection,
Does
a
he
good
know
look through. No,
that I
he does
have it?
not know. I'm just going to surprise him with this and see what he thinks because he hates custom cars and that kind of stuff. So I'm going to be really curious what he thinks. And also, I need to pick up the Grand National. So it'll be great. We can drive this up, have Wizard look at it, and then, experience the Grand National because it has been months since we've driven it as far as like a fresh take back and forth and compare the two next to each other. So
That
I guess
would be cool.
that'll be the next video, huh?
Yes, on our way to Wizard.
Are you holding up traffic?
I was.
Oh,
Woo!
it's not fast.
Woo!
She's very weird, but she's all mine.
This is amazing.
Can you believe this?
Woo! Oh! Yeah, baby!
This is a
Woo!
person that should not exist.
It's the Grand Camino in Kansas.
She has very strange taste in cars. She looks like,
Oh, stop.
goes to bed watching Star Trek with me every night.
This is amazing.
This is a holographic simulation, I think. Yeah, computer in program. Thank you so much for watching.